Hey guys, Gabe Cordova here, Firepoint. Give me just a second. We are going to go live on Facebook. Takes us just a second to turn that on. So 1 second here. We're going to get it rolling, and then we'll jump right into this webinar. So, and then our guest will introduce also once we go live. That way, everybody joining us live will actually know who he is. So let's see here. You can now, I think. We are live now. So awesome. Hey guys, again, Gabe Cordova here, Firepoint. I enjoy, well, here, why don't we introduce yourself, Nick?
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Nick Hamilton. I'm with Firepoint as well. I'm the director of PPC here. And I'm happy to be here. We're going to have a good time talking about PPC today.
We're going to enlighten some people. Guys, what we want to do is we want to really help you understand the world of PPC. It is every lead source is different, all right? And so we really want to help you do is understand and set expectations, what to expect when you start, how long you've been going, how the leads are coming in. If you've heard me speak a lot about lead conversion, I like to talk about the customer's journey, understanding the customer's journey. And I don't think a lot of people understand the lead journey when it comes to a PPC lead. So we're going to start at the very beginning. We're going to try and keep this under 30 minutes. We know you guys are busy, but we want to start at the beginning so you can understand how they're coming into the system, why they're coming into the system, and then expectations. So we're going to start at the beginning. Nick, this is where you and your team come in. So let's really break it down at a high level. Somebody comes into Firepoint, maybe they're new to PPC for the very first time, which is maybe a little bit different than if they come from a different platform and start PPC as well. So kind of get us at the beginning, let us know what's going on there.
Yeah, so what will happen is when you come to us, we'd like to do an estimate. We like to understand the areas you're looking at and set a reasonable expectation of what the lead cost is going to be. Then once we've done that, what you will do is we'll send you a sheet that you'll fill out, and it'll basically be what we want to know is the areas where you're looking to generate leads from. You know your area, you're on the ground there, so there might be certain cities you want in, there might be certain cities you don't want in, but basically we want to feel for where you're expecting to get leads from so we can build a campaign that's custom to you.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so what will happen after that is we'll get that back and we'll build it and we'll structure the URLs so that they lead to very specific pages on your website so that, we're not just going to send them to all the listings on your, from your MLS. We want to make sure that they're seeing the listings that are relevant to the searches they made on Google.
Okay.
So that's just very top level, very simplified.
So basically what you're saying is when somebody comes to a website where they're going to Google, Bing, do people still go to Yahoo? I don't know. Wherever they go and they type in homes for sale in Boise, when they find one of the links, and show us, actually go ahead and share your screen. Show us what you're building and show us what they're looking at. Because that's a big thing, because I've seen, you can have your CRM company manage your PPC, third parties, it doesn't matter, you can do it yourself. What you want to make sure is that whatever they are typing in, whatever you're displaying, matches where they land. Right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Right. So what I have here is this is an example of an ad. A couple interesting things going on here. See right here, this is called dynamic insertion. This is something that Google loves. One of the things you want to do with Google, and it's very important to understand this, and a lot of our management strategy is because of this. Google just doesn't let you bid and get the spot. Google wants to decide that you're relevant for the spot. So if they have an ad they like better than other ads, you actually get a little bit of an edge. You get competitive advantage. One of the ways to do that.
Wait. So I'm going to keep pausing you for a second because you do this every day. This is your life. You run the team. Why would they like it or not like the ad?
Yeah. So for Google, their whole idea is they want customer experience. They want the user experience is what's important to them, and so they have a lot of things that they claim. Like they actually say there's 40 something variables that go into this secret formula that no one can see. But at the end of the day, it's really just three things: is the ad relevant to what people searched? Are people clicking on the ad, and does the website represent what is in the ad?
Okay, so I'm going to pause you because you're too smart for us. All right. So number one, what was the first one?
Okay, so the first one is the ad relevant to the search?
Okay, what does that mean? Break that down.
That means if someone types Boise homes for sale and you're showing them used cars, they don't want to see that.
Got it. Okay.
They want to see
the next one because I want to dive deep on this next one because it's important.
Yeah. Are people clicking on the ad? Google doesn't get paid until you click on the ad.
Okay.
So it's very important to them that people are clicking on it.
So, guys, if you are running PPC or you're about to, because I literally deal with this all the time, Nick,
Mhm.
if I'm running PPC, should I be Googling the search terms and seeing my ads all the time to make sure that they're showing up and then not clicking on them?
No, I would not recommend that at all.
Ah! Guys,
Yeah,
listen to
because
this again. If you're
Mhm.
running PPC and you know you're searching, we're just going to keep using Boise. You know your ad should be running for Boise, and you keep Googling it to see if it's up there, and you're doing this a couple times a day or a couple times a week to make sure it, and you're not clicking on it. What is that telling Google?
Yeah, that the ad is not relevant to the
And
searches
what
you're
is the
doing.
consequence?
They will start punishing your ad and pushing it down the page.
And meaning driving the cost up.
Yeah, in
Lower
order to get your ad to show, you have to bid more at that point.
bid more. So that means a higher cost per lead. So guys, this is really important that literally if you're going to, and please correct me where I'm wrong, because this is a little bit of my soapbox. I've done PPC, sold literally hundreds and hundreds of homes a year based on PPC. Is one thing that I feel like I really understand and get. And guys, if you're going to Google your search terms, by the time it pops up, I mean, I think you're almost better clicking on it. I mean, don't do either. Just don't do it, first of all. But pulling it up,
Yes.
not and seeing it, not clicking on it is just as bad as clicking on it. Like personally, like if sometimes I accidentally do it, maybe I'm doing it wrong, Nick. Like I'd even click on it because I want Google to think that it was relevant, right? And then
Mhm.
I'd play around that page because if they're not clicking on it, or if you're not clicking on it, guys, you're hurting yourself. Stop doing it. You need to trust us. Because okay, that was number two. What was number
Yeah.
three? And then I'm going to talk about trust.
And number three is just that the website is relevant. Yeah,
Okay.
that when they arrive, everyone sees exactly what they're looking for.
Okay, perfect. So when they click on it, are they seeing exactly the home? So if they go Boise Idaho homes for sale, do they click on it? And then when they land there, is it the homes for sale? And does it measure if they bounce or click right back? Does that matter?
No, because what Google will do is they'll go through and look at the web page independently and decide what words are relevant for that
Okay,
page.
cool. Hey, and guys, there's a question that came in. If you have questions, there's a Q&A section or chat. We'll try and monitor both. We'll try and answer them as we go. Nick, is there a developer site that you can do a search to see the ads, but not affect Google, I'm guessing, or your cost? Is the
The
question.
way there is a way. The challenge is you have to have AdWords to be doing it, but there is a tool. It's called an ad preview tool. So
Okay.
you go in and you can put in a search, and what it'll do is it'll give you up the listings at that moment. Now, keep in mind, it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to see your ad. It might tell you your ad isn't visible. That could just have to do with it basically just runs a search as if it was a real search.
Yep.
So you might, if you have a small budget, if at that particular moment everyone outbids you, there are a lot of reasons why it wouldn't show. Unfortunately, that's not accessible if you're not in AdWords itself. But we can always do that for you and show you the results
Yeah.
we get.
And here's my advice, guys. If you're a real estate agent, what is your best use of time? What is your dollar productive activities, right? PPC management is insanely affordable. Let the experts do what they're doing every single day and run it for you. The 10, 15, even 20% of whatever you're going to spend or save if you're doing this yourself, you are losing way more than that by not prospecting and doing the things that you're good at, man. We all talk about, I mean, right? This is why we don't tell people to sell for sale by owner. Hire somebody who does this every single day to maximize the return on your investment. We need to do the same as team leads and as agents. If you want to hire somebody and bring them in that does this full time, great. But just really think about where you're spending your time and what you're trying to save. So you're doing this, Nick.
Mhm.
Um, what do we report back to clients? What are you
Yeah.
offering up? Like I know Firepoint, I'm a big fan because being by agents for agents, I had a lot of times when I did this with other companies, there was no transparency where my money was going.
Mhm.
So we show, yeah, this is what you show, right? This is a monthly report that you do.
Yes, and this is something we just switched to. We used to do 60-day. This year we've gone to monthly reports, so it shows you everything. What will happen is we'll take the data of the different. So every campaign we build for you has a geo identifier on it. So it's going to have, in this case, these are the list of the cities and areas for this particular one. And what it'll show you is it'll show you, how many clicks, what that cost you, and then leads, cost per lead, the percentage of people who converted, and then the average cost per click. I just want to caution: this is Vancouver. The U.S. does not typically have 17 cents.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like 55 to 60 typically. They can go as high as $1.40 depending on the area.
So right, so the price, it's not going to be the same. So if you have a buddy across the country and she's getting X dollars per lead, and it's going to be different, right? Because it's area, demand,
Yeah,
all that.
that's exactly. There are some areas that are surprisingly cheap. Yeah, for example, there are areas in LA. We were working one that was up. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Not the hills. But one of
Okay.
the
Southern
fancier.
Cal, Southern
What was
Cal.
that?
Southern California, somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. Basically, there's some areas in Southern LA that are cheap. Then you go down to San Diego, and suddenly it's expensive again.
Right.
Uh, Rural areas do tend to be cheaper. Areas where the house price tends to be a little lower tend to be cheaper, but that's not a given. It really is. It comes down to how many people are doing PPC.
So, and I want to jump over into the CRM and show people what to be looking for too.
Yeah.
But you brought up a good question. So I'm going to use the Boise area because we're here. Hey, Nick, I want to spend all my PPC budget just in Eagle because it's the highest price point,
Mm.
right? It's the highest, highest average sales price. Smart, not smart? Like,
I would not recommend that. So the trick with PPC is it's numbers, it's math.
okay,
So what you want to do is you want to lower your cost per click because basically X amount of people who go to your website are going to convert. Average is about 5%. I've seen it go as high as 9. I've seen it go as low as 3, but we're going to use 5 as a basis. So 1 in 20 clicks is going to end up becoming a lead for you. Now, if you just say, I want to put $500 in Eagle, unfortunately, what you're doing is you're making yourself have to really compete to spend that amount. You're having to raise your budget. You're having
which
to
means you're paying way more for every click, which means you're paying more for every lead that actually converts. Because there's a difference, and this is one of the questions, Nick, I want to get over to you, and it's a great question. Thanks, Don. There's a difference between a click on Google versus a lead.
Mm-hmm.
Right, there's a big difference. So the question that Don said is cost per lead. How are you determining a lead versus a click?
Yes. So a lead is when someone registers. When someone gets to your site, there's a couple different areas where the forms pop up, and once that form is completed, that goes back to AdWords and it says that was a lead. AdWords calls it a conversion, but lead is the same word. Whereas a click is just someone who clicked on your ad and went to your website.
Yep. Here, and let me show you an exact. I'm going to hit share here, guys. I'm going to show you what he's talking about. All right. So we're very visual. So somebody typed in. Let me click over here. Somebody typed in homes for sale in Boise. We're just going to stay with Boise since I have access to that. Right. I'm going to get out of here. Once they search around, and we can talk about this too, but I want to get to the real stuff. After they're searching. Once they got here, that was a click. So it's a cost per click. Google's going to charge you every time you click on that ad Nick was just showing you. And at some point, and we do different versions of forced registration, which is this, to be a lead, they have to fill this out or log in with Facebook. So then you're taking your cost per click is how much did you spend and how many clicks did you get? You just divide them. And then how many leads? So you take the same number that you spent and then how many leads. That's your cost per lead. And I'm going to show you in our reporting how easily you can track this in Firepoint. If you're not doing it, guys, you need to be doing this. But a big difference between cost per click and cost per lead. Did I say that correctly?
Oh yeah, you nailed it.
Sweet. All right, another question for Firepoint here. How can we find the report, Nick, that you showed?
Yeah, so what will happen is every month we'll send them out. We typically it'll be between the 3rd and the 5th is the day when you'll receive it. And the reason for that is while AdWords data at the end of the day is typically finalized, there's actually adjustments that can occur within the next 48 hours.
Yep.
Sometimes they go through and they remove clicks, which is great because that just means that they say, hey, that was money that was spent that didn't need to be spent, so that gets credited back into the account. And sometimes a couple leads come in within that first 48-hour window that'll get credited back as well.
Okay.
So what we're waiting for is the data to be finalized, and then between the 3rd and the 5th, weekends obviously influence when this all goes out, we will send you a report in an email that you can look at and we'll have that access to.
Awesome. All right, so what I want to show you guys is when these leads come in, right, what we're showing and what's going on. And what I have to set the expectation here, guys, PPC, because it's forced registration, which we are just showing you, that means we are forcing them to give us their information before we let them keep looking at homes. And that's pretty common when you're talking PPC registration. Way different than something where they raise their hand, like a Realtor.com or a Zillow, where they're saying, I have a question on 123 Main Street, and they provide their information. It's a much shorter conversion cycle, all right? So when they come in, I'm going to so I just filtered, these are PPC leads that are coming in into this database. I'm going to click on a few just to kind of show you the difference of things that are happening. So when they come in, you're going to typically see this first entry, 3-2, they did a search, they did something. All right, when it comes in, you don't have a lot of information. You'll be able to come over, look, and see, what they're looking at. So on the 14th, they came in, looked at 3 properties, and they favorited 1, right? So you'll have some information. What you've got to do, guys, is, and we've talked about this, and I'm not going to spend too much time on conversion. You have to get on them immediately. We're talking phone calls, we're talking texts, whatever it takes. Second to the phone call and text, because to me that's just one big action of communication, is you guys have got to create saved searches. All right, so this particular lead came in looking in the Nampa area of an average price of $135. All right, so I can tell already, and this is not picking on this agent or anything, this is real world. So the system automatically set up a search. I can already guarantee the search is not going to do what it needs to do for you guys to get results. Because it tried to identify what she's doing, there's only 3 results. Guys, they came to the website looking for pretty pictures of pretty homes, right? Remember, they typed in something specific, like homes for sale in Nampa. They need to land on a page. They need to click on it. Now they need to land on a page. It all worked. She registered. If we haven't made contact, we don't know what they're looking for, guys. I highly recommend that you blow this number out. You've got to open this up because we don't know. Save your saved search so it's a bigger group of homes, because when it's over 200, every day they're going to get an email. Because remember, saved search alerts only go out when there's a new property that meets the criteria or a price change on the existing. And if we're at 3 properties, they're not going to get an email very often. Open this up. Once you're done with that saved search and you save it, follow it up with a video email basically saying, this is Joe, right? This is going to be a video email. Let me show you exactly what I do. I'm not going to send it because, again, this is a live account. Guys, if you didn't get a response on the phone call or text, a quick video email. It's all built into your system. Hey, Joe, Gabe Cordova here at Core Group EXP. Thanks for visiting my website, corehomesearch.com. Hey, I'm not sure exactly what you're looking for because I wasn't able to reach out to you, but I'm going to start sending you some listings, but I'm not sure the exact area or price. Let me know how I can adjust that and get it just for your needs. All my contact information is below. I look forward to hearing from you. Bye. It's about 30, 40 seconds, guys. It's super quick. When this is in here, you can add it to the email. 400% higher open rate because it's going to take this, throw it in here and give you a preview, right? High open rate. You guys have got to do the prospecting. The other thing that you guys can't do is give up. So I'm going to back up out here. Expectations, right? PPC, you're looking on average 9 to 18 months. 9 is going to be on the low side. You might see a couple here or there that go faster. But right now I'm filtering. So this database, this office has generated over 4,700 PPC leads. These are in order of when they registered. Actually, they've got a hot one that looks like it just came in yesterday, which is great. It looks like they're responding. That doesn't happen every day, but it does happen every now and then. But what I want to show you is if I take those same leads and I filter them by activity, things like last login. Let me just jump into last login. You're going to notice when it refilters, and again, let's just see here, you're going to start seeing difference. So registered in 18, 18, 16, 19, 17, 16, all right? 18, 18, you're going to start seeing the 2015, you're going to start seeing people who've registered. They are thinking early when we get captured, so you've got to stick with them. People are giving up too soon on lead conversion, all right? The other thing I want to show you, and we provide this to you in Firepoint, so please, if you're not using this in Firepoint, guys, I highly recommend use the reporting. We constantly have clients like, oh man, you know, your PPC, I'm gonna say Nick, they don't know Nick's name, but hey, Nick's terrible. My leads, I'm not getting a ton of leads, or I've been running this for 45 days and I don't have any closings yet. Guys, PPC is something to supplement your lead generation, and it's gonna be long-term, and there's a reason why they're so inexpensive. There's a reason why you're not spending $200, $300, $400 a lead, because you have to nurture them longer. If you're using the lead source analytics that we built for you in Firepoint, I'm going to show you again, this is a real database. This is nothing that we've built in for fake data. So I want to show you, I'm going to bring in the PPC lead gen that this office is doing. And let's just say we want to review 2018, all right? Because we knew we spent, all this money. I want to see what I spent and what I got. So I'm saying, hey, for PPC, January 18 to December 18, what happened? All right, so a total of 1,100 leads. I spent 12, oh, I'm missing one here. Please hold. Thought I clicked 2 here. There we go. Those are the 2 PPC. All right, so we got 1,368 leads, spent 21 grand, and I only made 24,000. All right, if I just look at the Firepoint line, I spent 12 grand, and I only made just shy of 4. Negative 67% ROI. Nick, you're fired. Firepoint, you stink. I'm out of here. Guys, I cannot stress this enough, and I want to show you why you have to stick it out with PPC. It is a fantastic return on your investment if you understand what you're doing. All right, I'm going to look at the previous year because I know of doing PPC year after year after year after year that I need to nurture them for at least a year. So if I was looking at 18 again, all this money that I spent in May, June, July, the last half of 18 that's accounted for in here, I haven't had time to turn them into a commission check. I'm going to prove that to you right here. I just look at December. Now I've had at least a year to work all of these leads that came in this time frame. I just went from a negative 67% ROI on Firepoint PPC, which is AdWords, Google, to almost 400% ROI. Guys, this is telling me on average, especially on AdWords, because there's more competition, more people looking, this is telling me on average, I need to wait at least 11 months and 26 days to close them. Look at the difference a year makes. 381% ROI versus a negative 67. Now, Bing has performed well on this, Nick. So I'm going to show everybody again. In fact, I'm going to do this side by side so that we can look at it. Please hold. I'm going to change the dates on this again to 18 because I think I know what the deal is here, but I want to hear it from you because you're the expert. So, whoop, whoop, whoop. Please hold. Let me just get just the right source in here. PowerPoint, I thought that I did that. There we go. Go. All right. So year after year. So I'm looking at 18. Look, hey, my average conversion cycle on this one's only 6 months. So Gabe's lying, right? And I've got 127% ROI within the year. Now I'm going to look at 17. I've got a 469% still at 6 months. So Gabe's a liar. Why don't I just put all of this money on Bing PPC?
Yeah, and there's a very easy answer for that. There's a very limited amount of traffic that Bing has available to it.
Why?
It's largely because most people use Google. The people who use Bing tend to be people who had it installed with their computer when they bought it. It tends to be a little bit of a different demographic, oftentimes a bit of an older demographic. So if, in this situation, if I could put all that money in Bing, I would, but there just is not the traffic available to do it.
Basically, you're saying if there's just nothing there to buy, if you just started throwing more and more money, I'm going to guess Bing's going to say, hey, heck yeah, I'll take your money. I'm just going to charge you a higher cost per click or higher cost resulting in higher cost per lead, right? That's what it translates to. Right. So it's basically, guys, you have a home for sale. You're like, this is fantastic, but hey, you know what? I think it's great, so I just want more. You go to a builder, they're like, fine, if you want me to build 10 more of these, I'm going to jack the price up. I'll still build them for you, and I'm going to take your money, but that was not my plan. There's not enough demand for that, right? But guys, you have to have a variation of lead sources. That means whether it's Zillow, Realtor, open house, sign call, whatever it is, and we'll track all that for you. You just basically have to tell us when you close it, or not tell us, tell your system. But this is telling you 2017, 413% ROI versus if I just look at 18, 16% ROI. And if I'm only doing PPC, maybe there's no Bing, you would possibly say, you know what, I'm shutting this off. Guys, how many other lead sources do you have in your business that are 400% ROI that's costing you on an average of $9.25, right? Guys,
And
yeah, go ahead.
if I could jump in.
Sure. Sorry, I get on my soapbox, Nick. I can't stop.
No, that's exactly it. Now I almost kind of lost my thought there. Oh, it's very important what Gabe said. Please use your system and track these things. And the reason is once you've been doing this, for a couple of years, you can then go back and look and say, hey, I send you that report every month. And you can say, you know what, classic example I use, we worked with a guy who was in Long Beach or is in Southern California, and Long Beach was his best cost per lead, generating more leads than anywhere. And after he did enough research, he was like, hey, look, all these other areas working beautifully for me. However, Long Beach has yet to generate anything that works for me. And so what we did, we just took Long Beach out and we set the traffic and the money to where he was going to get the best investment.
Because but you need a little bit of time. You can't make that decision in 30, 45 days, right?
Exactly. And all I'm asking is please pay attention, because we are more than happy to work with you and adjust this based on what you learn. But you never want with AdWords to use your gut. You want to use the data.
You have to. And guys, we cannot tell you enough. When you start this, when you go into this, you have got to know that if you're going to get into PPC and you're not going to commit to at least a year of doing it, don't do it. I can tell you, I have been doing this forever, and PPC in general, and I've done this in multiple cities. It's not just Boise. Guys, PPC on average, you're not going to start seeing a true return or an idea for a year. This is a long-term investment. They're insanely inexpensive to supplement your lead generation for you, your team, your business, guys. You have to understand it. Work with your account manager. I don't care if you're with if you're watching this, you're not even with Firepoint. You don't have to be whoever you're with. It's the same thing. You need to have time. You have got to give the commitment, because you're not going to see results in 30, 60, or 90 days. You may fall into one like I was just showing you on the one, I can't remember where it's at, where they got a hot one right off the bat. That is not common. You're going to fall into one or two if you're doing great follow-up with right systems. But for a majority of those, it's going to be a year out before you have a true idea, and I cannot tell you enough. Question, is this yes, we are recording this. If you want this to be sent, if you want a copy of this, just type your email address in the chat section, please, and we'll make sure that you get a copy. We'll send out a copy of it to you. The other thing I want to show you, we got about 5 minutes left. There are other things you can do. So first of all, when it comes to PPC, they're registering on multiple sites, guys. You have got to have speed to lead. So a couple things that I would recommend doing really quick is make sure that you have your lead distribution set up. So when a PPC lead comes in, you're getting them to as many people as possible. Meaning, what I would recommend, guys, if I were you, set up your lead distribution. So if you have a PPC rule and you have multiple agents, I would take any leads that come in and hit your Firepoint PPC, whichever lead sources are PPC, come in. What a lot of people do are round robin. They're going to say, hey, you know what? When a lead comes in, I'm going to give them to these agents, all right? And I want to be fair. So one's going to go to this one, this one, this one, this one. Guys, fair to me doesn't cut it if you want to talk conversion, all right? You can do things like rip away where you can say, hey, reassign it every 5 minutes if it doesn't get accepted. I think that helps. Guys, if it were me, I would go to a system, whether you have it in Firepoint, which you guys all do, or in your system, go to where you drop it into a pond, all right? So I'd create a pond that's new leads. That way it hits everybody at the same time so that when that new lead comes in, every second matters. It used to be the reports say reach out within 5 minutes. That doesn't cut it anymore, within a minute, because the stats, and you can look this up on NAR, I want to say it's in the 80 or 90% of agents or leads work with the first agent they make contact with. You've got to increase your odds of getting in front of them. So that's one thing you can do to increase your conversion on PPC is start at the beginning. Lead distribution, hit as many people as you possibly can so the person who's available the fastest can get there. All right, another secondary one is one that we've just started, but I've been watching this company for a while. Other than we work with them as an integration, we're not affiliated with them, but Ylopo. This is a way where they nurture leads. They can take existing leads in your database, because I've been telling you, we sell homes all the time to people who've been at our database for a year, 2 years, etc. But they have to stay engaged, and agents, we're busy. We're always taking that low-hanging fruit. That's not a diss on agents. I'm one of you. I've been doing it. But it's just easier. That's our dollar productive activity. Ylopo engages people constantly. We just started this a couple days ago. And I can already see people from 2015, 16, 17, they're getting re-engaged. So let me just click on one, for example. This shows inactive, and this is a live account, so I'm trying to figure out what it is. I can probably go into searching and see they hadn't been to my website since 16. They stopped engagement. Ylopo re-engaged them yesterday. They checked out 4 more homes on a different website, looked at this one twice, this one twice. So this is a supplement to your lead follow-up, to your team that you can do. Again, that's Ylopo. It's something I would highly recommend checking out if you have a large database where they're re-engaging your existing database. That could be PPC leads, Facebook, it doesn't matter. But we're talking PPC. This will help re-engage and reinvigorate those old PPC leads, guys, because that's where the money is, right? If you need to increase sales immediately, it's not calling us and increasing your budget, because you're not going to see those sales for 12 months. I'm telling you now. It's getting into your database and finding those leads. In fact, I'll come in here, going in and finding your PPC, filtering by last login. Who's actively thinking real estate? It's going in and saying, all right, who of the leads that are in my database is looking at the most amount of properties in the last 7 days? Who's thinking real estate? Who's on the site actually doing buying activities? These are the people that I'd be hitting. These are your immediate sales. If you're looking at ramping up your business for Q1, Q2 of 2019, the leads are in your system, guys. If you can do PPC, but that is not going to start translating to commission checks for 12 months. I guarantee it. When you're talking Facebook and PPC, they're both a long conversion cycle. All right. So another question. Oh, no, it wasn't a question. It was just an email. Oh, somebody from the Lisi Bishop team. Hey, guys. So anything I'm missing, Nick? Sorry, I kind of got off on my.
You nailed it. I'm going to repeat this because it's so important, everyone. Yes, you have to be very patient. The mistake I see a lot of agents make is they go for the immediate sale. They think, I'm going to grab this person, I'm going to sell a home next week. And what you need to be doing is you're building a relationship. The people who I see the most successful with this are the people who, they don't go for the hard sell right away. What they do is they try and keep people on their website.
Yep.
Because if you can keep them on your website, you're now the expert. If they wander off and find other people's websites, you're going to lose them. So engagement, everything Gabe's saying,
It's huge, guys. Let them stay on your website. I've even seen people like, oh, they bought with another agent, I'm deleting it from my website. Don't delete them, guys. It just keep them in there. In fact, I'm going to show one more thing really quick. Sorry, I hit stop share because I was going to say goodbye, but I can't stop, people. I have a hard time stopping. Let's see. You can see the screen, right?
Yep.
So I just pulled up real quick PPC, what's currently pending. 2015, 2016, April 2018, 2017. Guys, I am not lying to you. This is under contract PPC leads. Look how old they are. I don't know how much more data I can show you. Please use your reporting section. track this so you know where to spend your money and what's going on, so you can see everything that's going on. All right, you guys have got to use this information. We've put it at your fingertips. So please, please, please use the tools in front of you. Don't give up. PPC is a great way to supplement your business, build that pipeline, but you have to stick with it. Create the follow-up plan for the lead source that comes in, because it's their journey, and that's how you're going to understand how to convert a majority of them. So I think I answered all the questions. I don't see any. Again, guys, I think we have a few emails that want a copy of this. So again, if you want a copy of this recording, just to play back for your team, throw your comments in there, your email in the comments. If not, you can even reach out to us here at Firepoint, firepoint.net, and we can get a copy. Nick, thank you so much for taking time out. Will you get back to managing those PPC accounts so we can drive down the cost per lead for everybody?
Sounds good, Gabe. Have a good day, everyone.
Thanks, guys. See ya. Bye-bye.